What's up, y'all, and welcome in. My name is Harley Rothfeld. I am a digital marketing manager, and I own my own consulting company called Harley Rothfeld Digital Dynamics, which is what I consider the sponsor of this podcast. This is my first of a series. They will be coming out on every Monday for a Marketing Monday podcast, and it'll be everything from kind of like just talking about marketing innovation, how it applies to your small business, how I can help you with that, to kind of just talking about the biggest campaigns of the year, the best way brands are doing things, a little bit of everything. And I welcome my viewers to let me know what you guys want to see, what you guys want to hear about, any questions that you may want to know about marketing, because this is geared towards anyone, whether you have a full background in marketing or you're a small business owner that knows you need marketing but you have absolutely no idea where to start. And that's why I'm here to help. And so this podcast is called Harley's Huddle Marketing. The name Marketing Emotion is because marketing is constantly evolving and moving, and we got to kind of keep up with that. And it's not easy, especially with AI and technology like that. So I'm here to help. I'm here to make sure you and your small business stay on track. And that's what I plan to do with these podcasts. This one specifically today, we're going to be talking about marketing innovation, some of its roots, current trends in it, AI tools, how it may impact your 2024 marketing strategy, applying this to your brand, some challenges and how to navigate them, as well as just some examples of who's doing this really well. Because there's some companies out there that I'm a nerd for this stuff, so they are doing it very, very well, and they're big brands, but that doesn't mean a small brand like you or a small business that you may own can't do it, because anyone can do it, right? And that's what I'm here to help you learn how to do and how to navigate that. So let's deep dive into marketing innovation and what it is, as well as its significance in the modern business landscape of today. Now, all of you have a dictionary, right? I don't have to go into the full definition of what marketing innovation is. You can Google that. I know you can. But just to give you like kind of a quick overview of what it is, simply put, it's just new technologies and strategies for use in marketing. It's a way to future-proof your marketing strategy, which is very important with how fast technology is growing these days. And depending on the status of your current marketing, this may be a simple switch to add some more or different unique tactics, or it might be starting over and from the beginning, which I know is scary, but sometimes it is absolutely what is needed, because you need to realize that this approach is about selling, but also not about selling, right? So it's not about selling your product. It's about showing the value of your product, creating customer experiences. It's not saying buy this because it's this price. It's saying you have a problem. Let's talk about that problem. How can we solve it without even saying those words, right? Just telling a story, making it a unique experience. And we'll talk about some examples later on to give you a better idea of how to do this and what exactly this means. But that's the main thing about innovative marketing, is that it's not about selling products. It's about building community, building a good customer experience, doing things that are just not the norm, right? Not a normal print ad in a magazine. It's doing stuff way above and beyond that, and creating this reason and this feeling of why a customer would want your product without even selling it. Because people don't want to be sold to. In this day and age, they just don't want to be sold to. So this gets around that. And some key components of that, digital technology, of course. So utilizing tools like social media, AI, using data to understand and reach your audience more efficiently. And I know we've done this in marketing for quite some time now, but it's very much using data to create a story, to create a brand persona, to create a reason to buy your product. And so data is the analytical portion, right? Your customers don't want to know about that, but you need to know about it to figure out kind of what they're looking for, what they're looking up on Google, how to reach those people. That's what this is about. And that's where you use that digital technology a little differently. And it's where creativity kind of meets technology and innovation. You have to have a customer-centric approach. So again, it's about the customer. It's about what they need, rather than just pushing your products at them. And creative content is also important. So using engaging content, original content to capture the attention of the people in a very crowded digital world. How do you get in front of these people? How do you get the attention of people that are seeing all sorts of products similar to yours all day long, right? How do you do that? You have to be very creative. You have to be, to the next point, very personal, right? So personalizing, tailoring your market efforts to individual customers and preferences based on their behaviors versus just selling your product blanketly, marketing to one type of person, because there may be subset of audiences that are interested in your product. Well, that's fantastic, but if you're only marketing to one type of person, then that's not going to work. And that's where ad segmentation and things like that come into mind and will be discussed later on in many of my podcasts. But just keep in mind that you have to really personalize it, and the product may do something for one person, do something really different for someone else, right? So you have people on these two separate sides of the spectrum. How do we market to each of them? You got to get creative, but you also got to personalize it. So this person would need to be marketed differently than this person. It might mean this person you'll reach better on LinkedIn. This person you'll reach on TikTok and Instagram Reels, right? That's just one example. There's many different ways to do this and to keep this in mind, but it's a huge part of marketing innovation. Let's jump into discussing the significance this has on the modern business landscape, which clearly it's going to have a huge significance, a huge impact on current business models, past business models, future business models. I mean, it's absolutely so important, guys, so important to keep up with these trends, listen to podcasts like mine, do your own research, but just don't kind of say, this has been what I've been doing. It's worked, so we'll keep doing that, because that's great that it's worked. Things are growing very quickly. Marketing is, the innovation of it is just like, there's something new every day. It's exciting, but it's also stressful, especially for business owners that you may not know a lot about marketing. You may not be able to keep up with all of these changes, which is why we have people like me to help you out with that. So it has a huge impact. There's no way it doesn't. And a big part of this is customer engagement, right? So innovative marketing strategies allow for such a deeper, more meaningful connection with your customers, which is huge for engagement. And engagement is huge for sales. But again, we don't say that S word. We don't talk about sales, right? We just talk about building this meaningful connection with our customers. And that is what marketing innovation is, and why it has such a big significance on businesses and business models, because not a lot of people are doing this. A lot of people are, here's my product, I'm selling it, right? Here's what my product can do for you. Here's the cost of my product, right? You're not building that experience that you really need to in this day and age, no matter what your product is, from, I don't know, data security to shoes to an e-commerce store, skateboards, I don't know. Think of anything random that you could sell. It needs an innovative marketing strategy, especially going into 2024. So anyways, that's just kind of the beginning of it, the tip of the iceberg, as they say, right? That's just the tip of kind of the impact it's going to have on your business. If it hasn't already started impacting your business, I would assume it has. But anyways, so some things to keep in mind is just that these decisions you're making for marketing need to be data driven, right? They need to be leveraged by data and analytics. You need to make more informed decisions for your marketing strategy based on market trends, predicting customers' behavior, forecasting, future proofing, right? So it's not just what's my customer want today, it's what are they going to need in the future? How can I continue to give value to this customer, right? And so that kind of data driven decisions are going to have a huge impact on your landscape and your marketing strategy for 2024 and beyond, and probably already should, but that's why we're here, right? If you haven't, that's okay. Let's help you get there. Let's help you learn how to make those data driven decisions, which we will do in another podcast. I promise. This is just, like I said, the tip of the iceberg. We're just touching the surface. We're going to continue to dive so deep into innovative marketing and how it can really help your customer, your company, just your overall product. So there's a competitive advantage as well to people that are already doing this, if not, going to be doing it. So let's get you on that competitive advantage side of things. Let's get your business to adopt marketing strategies that will stand out in the market, will go viral, will find the people you never knew you wanted to find, right? So let's do that. The difference in just a normal marketing campaign and an innovative marketing campaign can be the difference between, I don't know, let's say 5 customers and 15 customers. That's a lot different, right? And that's not just leads, that's actual customers. So say you can bring in so much more leads. Some of them, as always, won't be your audience, won't buy your product, but you're getting your product out there. People are sharing it, even if they're not in your audience. They're like, "Whoa, this experience, this ad I just saw, this whatever is so cool. I'm gonna share it." And eventually, you'll get to someone that is in your, audience, and you will go from 5 leads to 10 leads to 15 leads, and you will close like maybe you're closing 10% now. That's pretty standard. 33% is on the high end of lead to just overall. I mean, it really depends on your industry, right? But lead to customer. So like an MQL to an SQL, let's say, like 33% that's really good to convert those into a sale, right? So and from that perspective, if you're hitting that already, that's great. If you're hitting less than that that's standard too. It's not easy, especially without a marketing team or a marketing expert. But if you're hitting 33 and above, you're using these innovative strategies. And let's get you to 50% and above. Let's get you to what you never thought you could do, and get you that competitive advantage that just yeah. I'm going a little off, like, on a tangent here, but it gets me really excited because even just a few campaigns, a few little changes here and there that are innovative and customer experience focused could be like a huge game changer for you. And that's what I want for your small business. So that's why I'm getting excited and going off on these little side tangents. But it can be cost effective as well, right? So actually, some of the more traditional methods tend to be much higher cost, right? Like radio ads are so expensive. And unless you pay to be in that first spot, second spot, no one listens to it because radios do that 1 hour ad free and then play like 5-10 minutes of ads. And people are just like, okay, I'm done with this, right? Or listening to Spotify and paying not to have ads. But that's such a costly form of advertising. So is billboards. So is print ads. Like they're actually can be more expensive because you can do these campaigns with your internal teams or outsourcing for a budgeted amount of money. You don't even have to run paid ads, right? Like paid ads are great. Paid ads are great for quick wins, but SEO, completely organic search engine optimization on your site and of your marketing campaigns that are just day-to-day social content or blogs or whatever, using the team you already have or within a small budget, you can really offer a huge return on your investment because you're really not paying for much. If you're just truly having someone optimize your brand with data and analytics in mind, or having a really small PPC budget, pay-per-click budget, a social media budget, depending on your product. Like, some will do much better on LinkedIn. Others will do better on TikTok. TikTok's actually very affordable for your pay-per-click ads. Plus, unlike traditional marketing where you're paying no matter what, pay-per-click, you're paying for someone that actually clicked. That doesn't mean they convert, but you've gotten them to the point where they are clicking on your ad. You're not just paying to have your ad exist. So really, at the end of the day, as much as it might seem like it's gonna be some complicated, expensive experience, it could really be a few simple budgeted changes that bring you such a higher ROI than you've ever seen before. To global reach with this, right? Like when you're doing digital marketing, you can reach anyone. You don't have to just sell, especially if you're selling like digital product. But even if you're selling like a product you have to ship, you're gonna have to build in shipping costs and such. But your reach and your ads could be worldwide. Imagine how many more people that could bring in to buy your product. Not to mention you can segment it so much better instead of just putting an ad in a magazine that goes wherever. You can segment, okay, I want to reach, with ads, this is not with SEO, but you can kind of do it with SEO in a way. It's just not as direct, right? So you can literally say, I want to hit, and this is an example from my past company. I want to hit companies that make $1 million more in revenue. Okay. The people that I want to reach should be senior level, CEO, C suite, right? CEO, CFO, so on, so forth. I mean, you can really dig deep into who you want to reach. So not only can you reach the entire world if you wanted to, but you can be so specific of who you want to see your ads so you're not wasting your time and money like traditional advertising. Come on. That's a win. And then there's the adaptability portion of things, right? So current business landscape is ever changing, and innovative marketing fosters a culture of adaptability, enabling businesses to quickly pivot and respond to market changes. This economy we've had in the last 4 or 5 years between COVID and not to get political, but presidential changes and so on, it's just been so unpredictable. And the best thing is to future proof your business so that no matter what the economy is, no matter what happens in the world, you still have a product and you still have a marketing strategy that can quickly pivot, quickly adapt, quickly change, and quickly change for like the social platform you're using, for example, right? So if your marketing team currently using Twitter, well, I have a lot of thoughts on Twitter, not good ones, but many people dropped off with Twitter. Okay, so if you're seeing a significant drop in people on Twitter reacting, engaging to your post, or sorry, X, it's X now, then why are you still using it, right? What, like, adapt, change. So look into threads, maybe. Not saying threads is the answer. Look into Reddit, possibly. Look into things that are still kind of the same thread, shorter content style type social media platforms, but that still have that audience or are building that audience, not losing that audience, right? So that's just an example, but it really, the significance and the impact it will have on your business model will really be being able to pivot and change and be ready to quickly adapt to unforeseen circumstances. I think it's also important to touch on a bit of the history here of marketing practices and how it's evolved to what it is today and how it will continue to evolve in the future. Now, I'm not your history teacher, okay? I'm not Mrs. Rothfeld, the second grade history teacher. I don't know why I just picked second grade of all the grades. Like, you guys are grown adults. But anyways, again, you can Google it. Just like I'm not a dictionary, I'm not a teacher. I'm not here to like give you a whole big history lesson, but I want to touch on some of the important parts. And it is kind of really cool for nerds like me to see exactly how far marketing has come and how it has grown and how it's become this innovative, like storytelling, unique, just amazing thing. I mean, I just, like I said, I'm a nerd for it. I love it so much. Not your teacher, not going to give you a lesson, but let's just touch on the history here real quick because marketing has literally evolved from a simple trade practice to a complex and multifaceted discipline that leverages technology and data to connect with consumers in increasingly significant ways, right? Like, this is insane. It just, every day I feel like I sign a LinkedIn. I'm like, well, that's new. That's new. That's new. Taking courses all the time to keep up with AI. Then there's like, Google Gemini now and Google this and Google that and Apple this and that. And it's just insane. It's always something new. You really have to keep up with it. But it is pretty cool to think about how we came from a trade and barter system, full word of mouth, to that. But we still use word of mouth today in marketing. It's interesting how innovative marketing has added to that. Like, the cooler your campaign is, the more people are going to talk about it. So sure, yeah, you have the physical campaign and they're sending it to their friend, but it's still technically word of mouth, right? It's like, oh, I saw this, you got to see it. I saw this, I'm going to share it on Facebook. So it's still similar to word of mouth, but it's also like insane how crazy and adaptable and like just how this journey like mirrors the changes in technology and media and like how far we've come, and now it seems like it's changing so quickly every day. Anyways, again, tangent, but like I said, from the trade and barter system, which was like way first part of marketing prior to the Industrial Revolution. Then you had, like, the mass production and print ads that started during and after the revolution, and then, after you had some of the TV and radio ads, and in the early of 20th century, you had direct mail. Here's where segmentation came in, which is still so important till this day, and more, in the late 20th century to where we are now, which in the 21st century, we have internet marketing, which is everything from organic or just like keyword research and optimizing your sites and your social profiles to have the ability to show up on that first page of Google. So when someone's looking up new hats for Christmas, I don't know, whatever, your product is there on that first page. And then it's like insanely hard to do because those are such high volume keywords. But you get what I'm saying, right? You get the point. PPC, email marketing, content marketing, blogs, podcasts. I mean, all of that stuff. Social media marketing, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they've just become so vital for brand engagement and advertising and growing your brand and brand awareness and lead generation and building community. Building community is so huge in this, and it's like I'm gonna have to do multiple segments on that because it's such a huge part in it, but it's such like a difficult thing to do to build a community around your product. Not just a bunch of people that are like, hey, cool, yeah, I love this product, but people that genuinely like want to connect, like want to be friends because they bought your product, and it's like a cult. Just kidding, it's not a cult, but kind of cult mentality. Like Apple is cult mentality. Like, why don't you have an Android? Because I have an Apple. Yeah, but like, what makes Apple better? And this is me. I have an iPhone, right? Well, I have the blue text with my friends. I can't be the one to bring the green text. I mean, come on, that amount of branding, like, it's insane. Anyways, mobile marketing, use of smartphones, text message marketing, all that kind of stuff. Influencer marketing. If I could, again, this will be a whole segment because I could talk about this for days, but leveraging influencers in product promotion, and it can be expensive, but it can also not be. It can be as much as like the person likes your product and they're advertising it for free. So you reach out to them like, hey, let's work together because you're already posting my product so much. Clearly you love it, like actually love it. You're not a fake, like pretend to like my product. You actually like it and you actually promote it for free. Let's work together, especially if they have a huge audience. Anyways, so again, that's a huge part of the 21st century of marketing, and that's going to continue. I guarantee you that is going to be more and more and more important and be so key to the success of your brand in the future because the user generates the content and it feels so real. They do it from their iPhone, and people are like, why, like, boomers. Not sorry if you're a boomer, but like, just people are like, oh, well, why would anyone watch an ad of someone videotaping from their phone? Well, because it feels so much more real. You feel connected to that person. You're like, oh, it was recorded on their phone. It's not like they went to some high production ad studio. And again, this is where that saving on cost and the ROI comes in, where it's like they're creating the content. They're creating it from their phone usually, or from a laptop. Like, it's huge. And so, and also is like in the historical context of things, the experimental and interactive marketing strategies that have come over, especially in the past decade, creating these brand experiences and immersive campaigns to engage consumers. And we're going to go into some examples later, but like just give you one now so you kind of like understand what I'm talking about. Is like, and I'm going to show the video later on as well, but share a Coke, right? Coke put names on bottles, and people like search for their names. Like they're like, oh, I wonder if I can find my name on a Coke bottle in this fridge in the grocery store. They would literally look through the fridge, find their name, and then like post a picture of it. That's user generated content. You literally just convince so many people to sell your product without selling your product. Like, crazy, right? Crazy to think about. And of course, my name's Harley. I never find it on anything besides like when I meet people, they're like, oh, my dog's name's Harley. But still, great idea, great example of user created content without even going through like the influencer campaigns, right? You're not even paying anyone. You just put names on Coke bottles and people are like, cool, I found my name, I'm gonna share it. It's amazing. And then there's like, the evolution and the strategies and the switch from traditional to digital. And again, you still should use both of these, right? I'm not saying go fully innovative, go full tech, go full digital marketing. Sometimes very much so event marketing, going to a networking event and actually speaking to people in person makes a big difference. Sometimes print ads work, but you also need this innovative marketing somewhere in your strategy. And so digital marketing really offers a more precise targeting system and measurable results and engagement with customers, making it just an indispensable tool in modern marketing and future marketing. But like I said, traditional still holds value and shouldn't be just thrown out the door, but you need to work with these two together, come up with some sort of hybrid approach, whether it's 75, you know, 25 or 50-50, or really it would depend on your product and where your audience is. But, some of the quickly to go over some of the key like differences and implications of this and this history and this change and this evolution. Direction of communication, like digital marketing is more interactive. So it's allowing for two-way communication and customer feedback. It's allowing for a customer to leave a review and for you to respond, whether that review is good or bad. And that's part of reputation management, which is part of digital marketing. Because instead of someone just like, back in the day when there was no internet, you didn't like something, you told your friend, okay, word of mouth, but it reached like 10 people. You do it online, you can reach hundreds of thousands of people. And so you want to make sure you keep that digital reputation as good as possible, but also allow that two-way conversation. So respond to customers on social posts, like respond to messages, respond to reviews, make customers feel like you're not some big corporation that doesn't care about them, right? And that's that direct communication that just didn't exist before the digital age. Same with targeting and personalization. Like you have such sophisticated targeting options now and such better way to segment audiences. But again, this was segmenting audiences isn't new. This was done in the 20th century. I mean, it's just so much more sophisticated now, and you have the ability to reach that group of people so much easier. But it's always been a thing. It's all you should always segment your audiences, and know your brand persona. I mean, that's nothing new. What's new is like the ability to target those people and be more personable. Data and measurement, again, data's always been a thing. Measurement's always been a thing. It's always been key to know like how your marketing is doing, even if it was like way back in the day and it was word of mouth. Like it was definitely harder to measure that though. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? What did they do? Like, think about it. What did they do? Did they just like, I don't know, the trade and barter system and they like had like a notebook and they like used their little quill pen? Okay, that's a little dramatic, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much easier now to keep up with. There's so many Google Analytics, Google Search Console, SEMrush, all these things make it so much easier because you can really just keep an eye on that data in real time and constantly evolve, constantly optimize content based on that. Cost and accessibility, like data marketing or digital marketing can really be more cost effective, as we talked about earlier, than traditional media and more personable and easier to teach your customer service rep. Maybe you don't hire a marketing person. Maybe you need someone like me to come in and teach your customer service or teach people that already exist in your company how to do something. And so that saves you a lot of money. Or even if you do have a marketing team, it's so much easier to segment your audience, reach that audience, pay for the clicks, pay for the conversions, pay for what actually matters and not just put an ad somewhere and hope people see it. We talked about that earlier. I'm kind of repeating that because it's just so important. And speed and adaptability. I mean, it's so much easier to adapt and change your marketing plan now as long as you stay up to date on marketing tactics and marketing changes and marketing technologies. And it can quickly be modified and launched in real time based on performance data, which is, again, insane to think about in comparison to what we talked about earlier in like the beginning of marketing before it became so innovative and so tech focused. So we've talked about the history of it, the definition of it, the this, the that, the examples of it. To some extent, we're going to get way deep in the examples later. But like, let's talk about this. Let's get down to the essence of it. In essence, it's the key to unlocking deeper, more meaningful connections in today's digital age, which sounds counterintuitive. Like most people see social media as like either like the way they communicate now or the enemy. I feel like there's not a lot of in between, and there should be, because it's both the way you communicate and the way you share things and all that, but it's also just being able to be responsive and like pivot and just do all the things we've been talking about, but like keep your marketing efforts so just kind of meaningful and like to that specific audience, to those people that you are trying to reach, and that's why social media is so huge. Anyways, the approach is not only more targeted, but it's also dynamic. It involves like customer trends and technological advances, making it constantly changing. Like it's constantly changing landscape, but yet it's so efficient and so effective. It opens up a world of possibilities. And so, like, in contrast with the traditional marketing, which we've touched on, it's such a broad, like, TV commercials, billboards, print ads are such a broad strategy aimed at such wide audiences, and it's somewhat like casting a net, right? Casting a massive net in hope of catching a few fish, and like that doesn't make any sense, does it? Like, thinking about in contrast to marketing innovation, like you have a fishing rod and it has a precision lure on it, and it leverages these digital platforms and these social media ads and these interactive websites and AI driven recommendations and creating personalized experiences and understanding your customers like intimately and their needs, their behaviors, their preferences, and just tailoring your marketing to those people. Like that's in essence like why marketing innovation is so important, and I can't stop stressing that enough. And some current trends in marketing innovation, anything driven by technological advancements, shifting customer behaviors, and some trends in innovative marketing right now include personalization and customization, utilizing data to deliver personalized content, products, and services. So this could be like a personalized email, personalized text message, which it seems personalized. You're still mass sending it to people on your list, right? But like you can make it say their little name, which seems so much more personable, and the content is tailored to those individuals because you've segmented them. Artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML. So AI and ML are being used in so many ways, but they're being used as a predictive analytics feature, which is huge because forecasting is huge. Knowing what's going to happen in the future without knowing what's going to happen in the future is such a huge part of marketing now. Customer service, like using AI for chatbots, you're saving money there. Again, the return on investment is huge if you do this properly. Personalized shopping experiences. Again, that personalization. You can use AI to optimize marketing campaigns if you do the prompts correctly and you know what you're doing, which we will do a whole segment on that too, and I will help you and teach you. You know, you can have it write all of the SEO for your website, the meta descriptions, the titles, the H1 tags, just every single little detail that used to take you hours to do. You can program a bot to do that for you now. Or someone like me who can program bots to do it, and you save the salary of 5-10 people, which is honestly part of why I am reaching out and doing my own thing, because I've had that experience so many times where companies realize they can hire an agency for this, half the cost of their salary, their 5-person team, or whatever. And so like it's highly important to either hire someone that knows how to do this or learn how to do it yourself. There's voice search optimization now, right? Like, who would have thought? Amazon Alexa, Google Home, things like that. But you can literally optimize that. You can optimize for voice search specific. Video marketing, huge, but so easy to do now with programs like CapCut or like even iMovie. Just making short form videos. And like I said, it can be on your phone. That makes it feel more personalized. Live streaming and interactive content. I'm a Twitch streamer on the side, but I'm not doing marketing. And so I kind of use my marketing knowledge to build my audience on there. But, like live streaming and interactive video content are huge and going to continue to be huge in all industries across the board, but, especially entertainment, gaming, like being able to go live, like for me, I could go live on TikTok and give people real time, real life marketing advice. Like there's just so much you can do with this, and you don't need a video background, cinematic degree. You just need to put in the effort, make the content, have a content schedule, So using influencer marketing, which we talked about before, there's a shift right now towards micro influencers, micro influencers, which are not necessarily these people with millions or hundreds of thousands of people. Like technically, my personal TikTok account would be a micro influencer because it's over 10,000 followers. It's 15,000, I think. But these are the people that engage with such a niche audience, and even if they only have 15,000 followers versus like these influencers that have hundreds of thousands, they're reaching people at like a level that those bigger people can't, and they're reaching the more specific people, not just hundreds of thousands of people. Again, it's way more targeted. So I can see why this switch to micro influencers is kind of highly engaging and a very kind of organic, trusted way to, update your strategy and up your marketing game to the next level. E-commerce, social commerce, selling your products directly through social media. You can do this on TikTok. You can do this on Instagram. You can do this on Facebook. You can do this on e-commerce platforms. Augmented reality and virtual reality, so AR and VR. Creating these experiences, and we're going to talk about some examples later on, but creating these experiences that make people feel like they're trying your product before they even try your product. But it's virtual, right? Like it's so cool to me. Like, I don't know if you've ever put on a VR headset, but when you take that thing off, you feel like it's not real life. Like, it feels so real. So it just makes sense to use this technology in your marketing. It's sustainability and ethical marketing. Like, it's more sustainable, and you really can pay attention to ethical practices and social responsibility, and resonate with the value of your consumers, and make sure that you let them know you care about them. That you're not just marketing to them to make their money, or to make you money, and you can be a lot more ethical, I think, online, which a lot of people would say the opposite, but there are so many things that like Google will tag you for if you're just trying to use keywords to use them and get picked up. Like these algorithms know when you're not being ethical. Again, don't want to get too deep into it, don't want to be political, but an example of this is when everyone was all up in arms about Facebook with taking away their freedom of speech or whatever, but all they were doing was putting a fine print on videos that were telling false information, provenly false information about the COVID vaccine. That this content may or may not be true, right? It's not provided by the CDC. It's not, and that I think is more ethical than just letting anyone post whatever they want to post and not having any sort of fine line to say like, this isn't real. Like it could be, but there's no science to back it. So let's make sure that people know that. That's where I think Facebook was more ethical than people that are like, oh, freedom of speech, it's against ethics, like, whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can definitely use social media and content marketing and be a lot more ethical, and the algorithms will catch you when you're not. So content marketing, we've discussed this. Interactive marketing, we've discussed this. Omni-channel marketing, which is providing a seamless customer experience across multiple channels, both online and offline. This is really important for any product that's not a digital product, being able to do, again, like Coca-Cola did, where they had, like, it was both people posting the content, so it was online, obviously, because people were taking photos of it, but it was also a customer experience of going to the grocery store and finding your name. And that's a perfect example of omni-channel marketing, like both online and offline and working together. Data privacy and security, like, that's a huge concern, but as long as you're transparent and secure with your marketing practices, it's going to be important, and it is going to continue to be a factor that people worry about with this type of marketing. And so how do we mitigate that? How do we show that we are taking their data and their privacy seriously? It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be an important part of innovative marketing. Chatbots and conversational marketing, we touched on this. So chatbots could be used for customer service. They could be used for marketing to engage customers in real time. Like, you're on a website, you're looking at a page, chatbot comes up like, hey, I see you looking at this. Can I answer any questions? So you're improving this customer experience and you're gathering valuable insights. And all of these trends I talked about above, they all highlight the move towards more personalized, technology driven, and experiential marketing strategies, and the ability to experiment and test out different marketing strategies. And they're shaping the way businesses connect with their audience, and they offer this immersive and engaging customer experience, which sells their product without being salesy, because no one likes salesy in this day and age. In the words of Spider-Man, great power comes with great responsibility. All right. So this means that, like, although innovative marketing opens up a world of possibilities, it also comes with its own set of challenges and plenty of ethical concerns. And so the key is to remain agile, ethical, and keep a balanced approach, ensuring that we harness the power of this innovation, but we do it responsibly and ethically. And so I'm going to touch on a few of those challenges real quick, and then we're finally going to get to the examples. Thank y'all for staying as long as you have, listening to me ramble and go on these tangents, but I'm really excited to share this with you. So, anyway, some of the challenges. First off, there's going to be, the issue of keeping up with rapid technological advancements. It's ever changing. It seems like what works today might not work tomorrow. And so this need for adaptation and constant learning and pivoting may be overwhelming for business owners, especially small ones with limited resources, small businesses with limited resources. And so you can mitigate this in a few ways. You can do what I do, which is multiple hours a week of learning and courses, and taking the newest course as it comes out every time. But that is a lot of effort and time, especially if you're not in marketing. You can, work with a agency or a freelance marketing specialist that knows this technology and kind of keep up with it for you. Or, someone that does consulting but is happy to come in and teach you and teach your department these new technologies as they arise. So that way you're keeping up with it, but you're not having to put 100% effort into just keeping up with these changes that are happening every day. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, another significant challenge is just this data in integration and analysis. Like, I keep emphasizing how important data analysis is for innovative marketing, but you also don't want to overdo it, right? You don't want to write a landing page that's like overly just using keywords because you want Google to find it. Because one, Google will catch on to that shit so quick. Google doesn't allow that. So not even worth the effort. But also, it just makes you come off as a robot. It's not personable. And the whole point of this type of marketing is to be personable. So finding that balance between data and personalization is going to be key. Don't rely too much on data, but also, definitely use it to consider the unpredictable nature of consumer behavior and try to keep up with consumer trends. And, like, it's important to look at the analytics of how your campaigns are performing and optimize them based on that. Like, you really need data and analytics, but you can't use it as your sole, like, crutch, or you're going to sound like a robot. So. And we also touched a bit on the customer privacy and ethical concerns. And this again is tough because people want these personalized ads without knowing that they want them. If that makes sense, probably doesn't, but in my head it does. Like, the point of these ads are to make them not feel like ads, or the point of this strategy is to make it not feel like marketing, even though it is. So doing that in a way that also respects your customer data, complies with data protection laws, and also you need to provide your consumers, your clients with, some sort of proof, some sort of like plan for like how you're protecting their data, because people are very concerned about this, understandably, especially with AI and all that. What I like to say is just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. Okay. So like legally, you might be able to do some stuff that's pretty damn sketchy in regards to targeting and collecting data and stuff like that. But do you really want to do that? Like, just be a good person, be a good business owner, and care about your consumer, because I keep saying that's such a huge part of innovative marketing is making your consumer know that they're cared about, and that you're keeping their privacy concerns, their data protection concerns in mind, and how you're mitigating that, how you're protecting them, right? So that kind of that part there. This isn't necessarily a challenge for all, but for some it might be, which is balancing creativity and analytics. We kind of touched on this in the first point here, but just like Innovative marketing isn't just about data decisions. It's about creating storytelling, emotional connection, human experience. Striking the right balance between creativeness and analytics and technology is so essential. But while data can guide us to what our audience wants, creativity and wit and personality is what is going to sell to your customers. What's going to capture their hearts and their minds, which is the entire point of innovative marketing for like the 5,000th time. I know I'm like a broken record, but these are some challenges and considerations, things to keep in mind, but there's a way to mitigate all of this. And always feel free to reach out to me with questions about how to mitigate this because I will do my best to assist you and help you because it's a lot. It's a lot, especially if you are not in marketing and you're just a business owner, but you need marketing. But it's a lot, and I'm here for you. We have reached the fun part, the example part. So we've talked about Coke a million times. I don't really even have to go into much to the example, but I wanted to okay. We talked about Coke a few times throughout this presentation and just how their Make the Name campaign is a great example of innovative marketing and omni-channel marketing. But so I don't need to go too in depth into this one, but let's just watch this kind of to get a feel for one of in my opinion, the top 5 examples of companies that are doing innovative marketing. I mean, come on, it doesn't get more personalized than that. So that's just such a good example of a strategy that fosters a personal connection with the brand and drives social media engagement, user engagement. All right, next up we have Nike. Nike Air Max and this web AR experience that they did was amazing. It's such a perfect example of the use of AR technology in marketing and a set like a new standard for online shopping and blending that like digital marketing and physical words in a way that's engaging, practical, and just let's just watch. And there you have it, folks. I mean, that's just like both in-person shopping, online marketing, technology, creating customer experience and engagement. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot more of that type of marketing in 2024 and continuing into the future. So that was my number 2 on my list of who's really doing this so well. Unique to the customer. But one thing they do really well is every year, you probably see it right now. If you use Spotify, is that Wrapped campaign. It's so individualized to each person. Again, it's creating that individualized customer experience and amplifying its brand on social media because people share these. I shared mine to my Instagram, my Facebook. I mean, I was like, look what I listen to. I listen to Taylor Swift way too much for any human being. But people do that. They share it, and it's just so cool and so smart and so simple, right? Like, so I mean, real quick, like, there's no ad for it, obviously, like the last 2 we watched, but this kind of goes into a bit of the genius of it. Real quick, Mozzie Media, let me just play this clip for y'all.
3 brilliant marketing principles underneath of Spotify's yearly recaps where they do top artists, top podcast, top genre, etc. The first is that they give people something personalized. So for us as business owners, whenever we have the opportunity to give someone personalized data about themselves, people inherently value just data about themselves. People love themselves. And so if we can do that, it provides value. The second is that they made it shareable. And so what happened is when people started sharing this all over the place, it created a ton of FOMO in the marketplace. And other people were like, man, I wish I knew that, which then created the third thing, which they got a surge of signups. Every other platform had to copy it in order just to keep up. And Spotify has continued to double down on this by giving people labels and identities of certain music types or listener type. And they really continued to go down this personalization path. And so I think for us as business owners, whenever we can see something that we can make it personalized and shareable, those things will drive more FOMO and more engagement in our products and services. So worth doing.
Absolutely agree with him there. That is just a great example of innovative marketing. And that is number 3 on my list. We got 2 more, just 5 examples here, 5 amazing examples. Next up, we have Airbnb. Airbnb's whole focus is on providing unique experiences, unconventional, iconic locations, different places to stay, from townhomes to huge mansions to like everywhere. But their biggest marketing strategy and the way that they get consumers engaged is that they want to create memorable experiences for their customers. And these memorable experiences resonate with people. It creates media attention and it enhances the brand and the brand value. And people will stay at a real cool Airbnb and post it all over Facebook. And it's just free user generated content and it creates an experience. I keep saying that because that's just such a huge part of this, huge part of innovative marketing. So here's an example here.
From my window, I see first the sunlight and the rosy clouds in the dawn. Sometimes I hear a little chicken. That's what my window brings me. That makes you feel instantly like you're at home. It makes you feel like you're somewhere. I want you to make yourself at home here. I love having guests.
So what's amazing about that is not only did they hit so many audiences, right? Like so many different audiences. People that want to go to the beach, people that want to go explore some historical place. Like they hit so many different audiences in one ad and did it so well, so seamlessly. And then on top of that, it's creating that like that feeling, that FOMO. Like I want to go to these cool places. Let's stay in an Airbnb because it provides such a unique experience. And they did that without words, right? That ad had like little words or content on the screen besides the videos, and amazing, like amazing. To be able to make an emotional connection with the customer without even using words. That's why Airbnb is on this list. And finally, my 5th on the list of people or companies, I should say, who are absolutely killing the innovative marketing game is GoPro. Probably no surprise there, just because their product alone is so innovative and unique and cool. But I couldn't even pick one movie or one video to show y'all because this is just so amazing what they do. Like, look at all these playlists on their YouTube channel. And they have everything from like pro athletes to just like consumers that send in their videos and like have this whole community. Because again, community building. This one's an example of community building, making your customers like have that like mentality of I want to show these videos to the community. I want to interact with other people that are doing cool things like this. And all these playlists have so much, unique. And then they have all these other featured channels, motorsports, tips, GoPro stuff. Like no matter what the audience is, they have something for them on this one platform, YouTube. Like they're able to hit different audiences with so many different types of videos and influencers from like huge, way well known snowboarders and skateboarders and athletes to just like the little old person like me making a blog that like uses a GoPro to do it. I don't. I wish I did. Anyways, and creating a community building. huge, amazing. That is why GoPro is number 5 on my list of brands and companies that are absolutely killing the innovative marketing game and should be examples to anyone at any company, any type of company, how to innovate your marketing strategy. And real life examples about all the stuff I babbled on about the whole vlog. Like, I get so excited. I hope you guys are too, because it is really cool. And it is really like a unique just time that we're in marketing history, and you can do so much. So much. Anyways, that was number 5, GoPro. And with that, y'all, we're wrapping up this podcast. Thank you so much for sticking it out the whole hour, listening to me ramble on and talk about all sorts of things from AI and chatbots, and AR, VR, influencer marketing, digital marketing, history of marketing. Like, we were all over the place, but I wanted this first episode to just be very kind of informal but informative, tell you guys what to expect here, show you some real cool life examples, because I can sit here and tell you what innovative marketing is and how to do it all I want, but actually seeing it for most people is kind of the best way to get your brain flowing with ideas. And if you have any ideas, you want to run them by me, go ahead and contact me. Drop a follow on the YouTube channel. I drop a follow on all my socials. And again, this podcast is called Harley's Huddle Marketing in Motion. My name's Harley. I'm Harley Rothfeld from Harley Rothfeld. From Harley Rothfeld Digital Dynamics. I am a marketing consultant, 7+ years of experience, and I'm here to help you and your small business grow using innovative marketing techniques and just by teaching you the trends and keeping you up to date on what's going on in the marketing world. So thanks so much. And again, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, whether it's by email, phone. All my contact information is provided on my page as well as my website, Harley Rothfeld at digitaldynamics.com. And all that information, again, you can just click directly from my page.